Join me today as I walk you through all the essentials needed for creating adorable wax seal stamps to embellish your cards. Hey everyone, it's Carissa Wiley here for Alta New. Thanks for joining me today. Today I am talking about 6 wax seal stamp essentials that you'll want in your stash for creating wax seals for your cards. This is such a fabulous trend in wedding stationery and general stationery, as well as in card making. And I really wanted to walk you through my top items that I want to have in my stash if I'm creating wax seal stamps. I'll also be sharing some tips and tricks to make sure that you're successful if you give this a try. The first item on my list of essentials is the wax warmer set, and this includes not only the warmer base here, which you can see is made out of some beautiful wood. It has an opening for your tea light at the bottom, and this piece pops out in case you need to clean it. It makes it really easy. Don't do that while it's hot. Just trust me. And it also includes the warming spoon, which has a couple of little spouts and a beautiful wood handle, and that rests nicely on the warmer. The next item is the wax stamp handle, and I love this because, again, it's that beautiful wood, and it is kind of a one-size-fits-all for all of your wax seal stamps that you're going to purchase from Alta New. Now, when it comes, it will have a cover over the threads that are currently exposed, so you'll just need to remove that rubber cover, and you'll be able to use this handle with any size wax seal stamp that you choose from Alta New. So this is the mini double hearts wax seal. It's a tiny little wax seal. It's so adorable, but you'll see that this screws on nicely. But if I want to switch out to a larger wax seal stamp like this painted grass wax seal stamp, this is a nice large oval shape, I can screw the same handle on. Now, I find that one of these handles is plenty in my stash. Even if I'm working with multiple designs, I don't find that I need more than one, because once this kind of cools in the wax, you'll be able to remove it and switch out to your next wax seal stamp and continue creating. Next up on my list of essentials is some wax beads, and Alta New has several different colors available. I'm going to show you some of those today. These are nice size little jars, and they're going to come in this bead form. That makes it really easy to get the right amount of wax for each seal, and I'll talk you through that in just a bit. And you'll get several wax seals out of each of these jars. You can see this milky white here is a nice kind of creamy white, and it is definitely like a matte finish, as well as this dusty pink. And I'll be using a lot of those today. There are also some metallic and kind of pearlescent colors. This is the Enchanted gold. It is like a true bright gold. There's also a rose gold, which is really beautiful, kind of very pinky, coppery looking. Next up is the platinum. I like this because it's warmer than a silver, but it's not quite gold, so it's a beautiful kind of in between. And finally, the frozen lake. Now, there are more colors available, so I encourage you to check out all the colors available over on the Alta New site. Now, you may not think of this as an essential right off the bat, but this silicone mat makes it so easy and mess-free to create these wax seals on any surface. It is a silicone mat that comes kind of rolled up. It was originally called a stamping mat. You can see when I roll it out, it has a beautiful design on it. It sticks nicely to my glass work surface, but it will also stay in place on any other type of surface as well, because on the back, there is kind of like this grippy silicone surface, and the top is a nice non-stick surface, which makes it easy to pick up your wax seals. I also love this essential permanent marker set. It has silver, gold, and black, and these are perfect for adding little accents of color on top of your wax seals. I'll show you that in just a bit. But let's get into creating our wax seal. So I have just an average tea light. There's nothing special about this tea light. I'm gonna go ahead and light it and place my warmer right over the top, and then I will place my spoon in the cradle on the warmer. That's going to stabilize it as I place my wax beads in. For the larger seals, I found that 3 to 4 wax beads really is the perfect amount. Now, keep in mind, once you have a little bit of wax in there, you probably won't be able to pour all of it out. So as you continue creating, you may only need 3 instead of 4. So I'm starting with the dusty pink wax beads here. You can see I've allowed them to melt, and I'm just pouring them out onto the silicone mat surface, and I'm placing my wax seal stamp directly on top of that. Now, I did not try to create the shape of the wax seal. I am allowing the weight of the wax seal to push that wax out into the proper shape. You don't need to press this. I just simply set it on top. Now, while that wax seal is kind of curing and setting up, I'm going to add some more wax beads into my warming spoon. I've added 2 of the dusty pink and 2 of the milky white. And once this is set up, you'll find that the wax seal stamp releases really easily from that cooled wax. Now, if I were going to add one more thing to my wax seals essentials list, it would be this mixed media palette knife set, because this makes the perfect spatula for lifting these wax seals off of this nonstick surface. So you can see I'm going to go ahead and switch out to the With Love wax seal stamp. I have my 2 colors of wax melting in my spoon there. And once it's melted, I can take a toothpick and kind of swirl these together, or you can just pour it as it is onto its work surface. And this is going to create kind of a marbled effect with the 2 colors. And you can experiment with all different colors of wax beads and this technique. So once again, I'm just pouring this directly onto that silicone mat, and I'm placing my wax seal stamp right over the top of that puddle of wax. I'm not trying to shape the wax as I pour it. I'm just allowing it to pour from the spoon. Now you can see how this wax seal is not releasing from that wax. That meant it wasn't ready. So I just gave it a little more time, and once you kind of like tilt it to the side a little bit, if it's ready, it will release from that wax underneath it and leave you with a beautiful wax seal that you can then embellish your card projects, scrapbook pages, stationery, and more. Now, when I want to switch from one color wax to the other, I take a paper towel and my warmed spoon. I'm very careful with this process because this spoon will still be very hot. And I just wipe out the leftover wax that's inside of my spoon so that I'm not getting any color crossover as I switch my colors of wax. Again, you're going to want to be very careful with this because the spoon will be hot. Now this time I melted some platinum beads as well as some dusty pink beads in the same. I'm just pouring that out. I am doing a little swirling motion here to kind of mix those colors as I pour because I did not mix it with a toothpick ahead of time. And then I'm placing my wax seal stamp right over the top. Once it's done, it'll pop right off and I can use this mixed media palette knife to just pick that up. And then you can see I have that beautiful marbled effect on my wax seal. Now, when I have all of my stuff out, I like to just create several wax seals all at once so I have several that I can use on future card projects. I have moved over to the mini double hearts wax seal. This is a smaller wax seal design, and I find that 1 to 2 beads works perfectly for this size. It's actually probably about 1.5. So if you put 2 beads in the first time and you allow that to melt, kind of pour it out, and whatever's left over in the bottom of the spoon, you can just add another wax bead to and create another mini seal. So now that I have a few wax seals ready to go, I am going to grab these essential permanent markers. I have silver and gold. I like to shake all 3 of them up while they're still in the package so I can shake 3 at a time. And I can just take these essential permanent markers and color over some of the raised area of these wax seal stamps that I've created and create a metallic effect. So on this With Love seal here, I'm taking the silver permanent marker and coloring over the little tiny heart that's on the right-hand side. On this mini double hearts, I can take the silver and color one heart and the gold and color the other. And you can see this is a really fast and easy way to add a touch of sparkle to your wax seals for your card project. I also love to take the gold and color in the little center areas of the floral on the painted grass design. I think that's a beautiful way to bring just a little bit of shine to it. And here is a look at that little silver heart on the right-hand side of this With Love wax seal. This is an easy way to embellish certain areas of these wax seal stamps and really make them shine on your card project. You can pour multiple colors of wax into the seal, but I think that's such an advanced technique. This is a really easy way to add different metallic or even a black accent to your wax seals. So here is a look at all the seals that I created, and now we're going to use them to create a card. I'm starting out with the Quill and Inkwell dies. These are brand new from the March 2025 release from Altenew. And I'm die cutting several of the elements out of some Altenew Crafty Necessities cardstock. I have blush, brushed gold, and then moon rock here for that gray. And we're going to assemble these together to make a quill pin here. This is a keyhole layering die set, so it makes it really easy to line up all of the elements. I like to use a liquid glue for this. It allows me a little time to kind of slide the pieces into place. And if you ever get lost, these die cuts are not only numbered, but there is a guide on the packaging showing you how to layer up each of the elements to create all of the different options in the die set. Now I wanted this to have a little bit of dimension, and so I'm taking the dusty pink fresh dye ink and blending that in towards the center. That is bringing the debossed lines of this die cut to life. I'm also using the micro blending brush set because I don't want to cover this entire die cut in ink. I just want to add it to certain areas of the die cut, and this smaller brush helps me really control where I'm placing that ink. Now, once I have that ready, I went ahead and die cut the Zero Waste Berries and Branches die from some plain white cardstock. I'm going to use some of these elements on my finished card project. And I really find my perfect picker tool the perfect little helper for these intricate dies where sometimes the die cuts stick inside of the die. Next up, I have the fun little envelopes die set, and I'm die cutting this tiny little envelope from some Morning Frost cardstock and the hearts from some brushed gold cardstock, and I'm going to assemble that. Now, the beautiful thing about these fun little envelopes die set is that the die actually creates all the score lines for you. So all you need to do is fold on the score lines, and I'm going to use just a tad bit of liquid glue on those side flaps and fold up that bottom flap. Then I'm going to place a magnet over the top of that and let that set up. Once that's set up, I'm going to fold the upper flap down and adhere that closed with a little bit of liquid glue. Just a little side note here, these mini wax seals are perfect for sealing up these envelopes, and you definitely could pour it directly onto the envelope. I just find that creating the seals ahead of time and then gluing them onto my project assures that I don't mess up all of the other work that I've done by trying to pour some wax onto a project. So you can see I have my envelope sealed up with a little brushed gold heart. I have my wax seal and my quill pin there. And I'm going to arrange all of this onto some craft cardstock that measures 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Again, I'm using some liquid glue to adhere everything down. I kind of pre-arranged it onto my card project, and I'm just sneaking some glue under the areas that I need it. Now, to adhere my wax seal, I'm going to use a good amount of liquid glue and place that onto my card. And for my mini fun little envelope here, I've just used some foam adhesive so that it rises over the top of the edge of that wax seal. Now I'm going to do a little bit of what I call faux splatter. I'm just using a fine liner pen to add some black splatter over the front of this card project. This allows me to kind of control where it goes. And then I'm adhering that entire card front onto a layer of brushed gold cardstock and placing that entire card front onto an A2 size card base using some foam adhesive. I did decide to shift that mini envelope over just a tad, so I picked it up and placed it onto a little further right. And that finishes off my card project today. I think this is so beautiful. I did decide to kind of curl up my little feather quill pin here to give it even more life. I just love the addition of these wax seals to any card project. I think it brings back a little bit of nostalgia, but all of the new designs bring a touch of modern to it. And so I think they are so fun. You can create them ahead of time and have them ready to go when you're feeling a little uninspired. This is a great thing to kind of spark your creativity. Now, as always, I will have links to the featured products used in this project in the YouTube description below. So if you're looking for something in particular, be sure you check there, or you can head on over to the coordinating blog post. I'll have that linked below as well. Over there, you'll find more still shots, more information, and a complete list of supplies. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so glad you're here. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed this project. If you did, be sure to give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications here so you don't miss any of the paper crafting and card making video tutorials shared. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day.
Hey there, Lydia here. I really do hope that you've just enjoyed the video. If so, please subscribe to the Altenew YouTube channel. Also, turn on the notification bell so you can get your daily dose of crafty techniques and tutorials just like this. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.